Welcome everyone to a new episode of Meet the Mavericks podcast, where we share stories of the Mavericks to inspire every one of us. Today I'm with the new Maverick. His name is Sanjay Rana and he is an Ironman. He's based in Canada, so let's hear his story, which shaped the Maverick of our time. Hi Sanjay, welcome to Meet the Mavericks podcast.
Hey Rohit, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming into this space. I was waiting for this episode for quite a while now, and I was quite impressed by the name as well, Ironman. Before we start there, I just wanted you to introduce yourself to our guests or audience as well. So, if you like to please introduce yourself.
So as you know, I'm Sanjay Rana. I am a triathlete, banker by profession. I live in Vancouver, uh, basically from Chandigarh, India. Uh, been a decade now, moved to Vancouver, Canada. Uh, yeah, I do triathlons, and here I am. Ironman is one of the biggest race which you do as triathlete. So I've done a couple of them. In fact, three of them in the last almost a year.
Brilliant, brilliant. So you moved to Canada at the moment, right? So are you in
Yeah,
Vancouver
almost
or
a
you?
decade now. 10. Vancouver,
Yeah,
Vancouver. Yeah.
Vancouver. Okay, okay.
Yes,
Cool.
yes, yes.
So this Iron Man intrigues me, right? So before we even go and discuss your journey, what is Iron Man actually is? Why Iron Man?
What is Ironman? Maybe first. So, Ironman is a triathlon. It's a tri sport. This includes three sports: swimming, bike, and run on a go, like back to back, back to back. It was introduced in 1978. First happened in Hawaii. And I was born in 1978, so 46 years. That's where it was introduced. And so basically, you got to do 3.9 kilometers of swim, almost 4 kilometers of swim. After that, you do 180.2 kilometers of bike, and then full marathon, 42.2 kilometers
Wow,
of run.
wow,
So three sports on a go. So that's basically Ironman.
right.
For me, I have done half Ironman, which is like Ironman 70.0. I've done three of them, two in Victoria, one last year, one this year, and one in Washington, Seattle, Maple Valley.
Nice.
I'm gunning to do another half in Penticton. So what happened is 1978 when it started in Kona, Hawaii. Second location when they started was Penticton. So Penticton is one of the original locations where Ironman
Mm-hmm.
was happening since last 46 years. So that's where I'll do my fourth half Ironman. And then I'm going to Sacramento, California, 27th of October, where I'll do my first full Ironman.
Brilliant, brilliant. I wish you good luck for that Iron Man.
I
So
need it.
yeah. So is it back to back? You have to do like swimming, cycling, biking, and marathon. Is it back to back, or is it like
Yes, yeah, back to back,
oh,
back to back.
okay, okay.
So there is a cutoff. So for example, for 4 kilometers, you got to do it in 2 hours, 20 minutes swim.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do it under 2 hours, 20 minutes, then you don't qualify to,
Oh, okay.
go ahead. And then after that, its total time is 17 hours. So in 17 hours, you have to complete the entire race. Swim, 4 kilometer swim, 3.9 precisely, 180 bike, 180.2 bike, and then full marathon, which is 42.2 kilometers. So you got to do back to back. You have 17 hours to complete the race.
Nice, nice, cool, amazing. I can't even think of doing that marathon at the end after that. Yeah, but yeah. I wanted to ask actually, what actually inspired you to start competing in Ironman events?
Oh, so, again, we come from a lower middle class, studying in local government schools and all. I wanted to become an army officer, when I was a kid. I've appeared 7 times in SSB, which is Short Service Commission in India.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I cleared my exam written, but I failed in interviews all the time. So I was a part of cadet team for almost 8, 9 years during my school and college.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like an athletic kid in the in childhood, not very studious but athletic. And then when I joined, I couldn't do army, and then I joined corporate. I started running. So marathon was the first step. So I ran my first half marathon in Shimla, I guess, 2007, if I'm not wrong. Till now, I've done around, I guess, if I'm not wrong, 15 half and like six full marathons.
Hmm.
So after marathon, I used to swim, and then 2007, somewhere in our corporate event, we uh, shared audiovisual for one of our seniors in the bank, wherein there is a small story. I'll just take half a minute for here to explain.
Please, please
There's a
do.
father, there's a father and a son named Rick White and Dick White. If you YouTube it,
Hmm.
Google their name, I guess father died in 2023 last year, 22nd of May. First Ironman was 27th May, and he died on 22nd or 21st, if I'm not wrong. And son died, I think, 2021, like 2 years prior. Long story short, son was born, as a special need child when he was born. He couldn't move below the waist. Father was an
Mm.
army man, so he wanted to
Okay.
raise his kids as a normal kid. And when Rick White was, say, grew up, he once he told his dad, he's like, I want to run a Ironman. I want to run a marathon, whereas he couldn't run. But father's love, and what he did was he, made his son do the full marathon on wheelchair. And then they did a couple of more marathons, and one fine day it was discovered that father has a heart problem, and doctor told him not
Wow.
to run more.
Right.
Whereas destiny has something else, and son told his father again that I want to run an Ironman. After, if I'm not wrong on my knowledge, after seven failed attempt, father and son ended up doing an Ironman on eighth attempt, and after that, they
Wow.
ended up doing more than 1,100 events across the world. They were
Wow.
part of Boston Marathon so many times, more than 3, 4 times. They were part of Boston Marathon 2013 when bomb blast happened. They were just, I guess, 200 meters away, if my knowledge is correct. So these are very legendary people. So I
Mm.
saw that video in 2007, and it took me almost 15 years just to convince myself that I can do it. I wanted to do it after seeing them. That video actually encouraged me so much.
Mm.
And 2023, 22, I decided that I should give it a shot. And especially thanks to COVID, I should not be saying it, but because I was working from home, I had time on my side. So I tried, and yeah, here I am. Ended up doing three in last almost 1 year.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Very inspiring story. So that father and son duo actually inspired you to take your,
Yes,
start your journey, Ironman. So
yes.
I'll definitely look up and have a look as
Yeah,
well.
Rick White and
Yeah.
Dick White. Yeah,
Mm.
must.
Thank you. So Sanjay, can you share a bit about, like, obviously once you get inspired and then your journey towards your first Ironman race?
Um, so as I mentioned, from 2000, so end of the day, all these things, I guess it's more to do with your mental toughness and your grit and whether you want to do something or not. Just like, somebody wants to become a doctor, you got to, give 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, or somebody, whatever you want to do in life. It's
Mm.
just the mental toughness, right?
Mm.
So my process of doing things is I try and tell my family and friends that this is I want to do. So that gives me a reverse pressure. So I think I guess from since the time I saw that video, I'll keep on talking about that video to so many people that oh, I saw this video. I maybe one day, right? So that kind of kept me in the process that maybe one day I'll start trying. And at the same time, you got to give time. I was doing my marathons on the side. I used to swim anyways. I've been swimming for the last 20 years now. And bike, I started almost 4 years back when I moved to Canada. I moved to Canada 10 years back. So here in Vancouver, especially, there's so many, it's a beautiful weather, so many bike groups. So I'm lucky to be part of one of the running groups here. We have a group called Punjab Running Club. We are
Nice.
almost
Nice.
200
Wow.
family, 200
Wow.
people here,
Wow.
and all of them are like ultra athletes. So
Mm.
I'm nobody in front of them. We have people, those who have done like
Right.
comrades a couple of times, those who have done
Wow.
100 kilometers, 100 milers, all those guys. So I'm blessed to be part of them and learning from them. So that's there. And then in terms of practice, or I'll say training, it took me almost a year,
Mm,
like non-stop 6 days, 1 day rest, 2 days swim, 2 day run, 2 day bike. Yeah.
nice. So now talking about training, what does a typical training day looks like for you when you're practicing for Ironman?
Uh, so again, if you're trying for anything like Ironman, uh, it'll take at least 1 year of your life, and it's just not 1 year starting just like that. You'll say, okay, I want to do Ironman. Let's do something like this. I typically you can. I'm not saying you can't, but I typically believe if you are an athlete, if you run a couple of marathons
Mm,
under your belt, like in North America, they say if you run a marathon under 4 hours, you are an athlete. So I'll say
right.
if you've run
Right.
a marathon under 4 hours and you run a couple of them, like three, four, five of them, you can complete that distance. And if you're a swimmer and you can do like I'll say 300, 400, 500 meter swim without halt or whatever, straight up. Bike you can do. If you have like six months under your belt, if you know how to bike, it's just the gears and all you need to know
Mm,
how to do it. Then you can try and do Ironman. It'll take almost a year. Typical day is 6 days, 2 days bike, 2 days run, 2 days swim. I generally wake up around 4:30, uh, 5-ish, 5:15, 1 hour, 1.5 hour run, or a swim, or a bike in the gym. So that's there, and then try and do. I'll say strength training. I
mhm.
hardly did. I've just started now. Strength training is very important. In evening, if you can just dedicate half an hour also, that'll be more than enough. So I'll say typical 2 to 3 hours a day for an
Wow.
year.
Wow.
That's you should be looking at.
Wow. Wow. 2 3 hours a day. So how then you balance your training life with other aspects of your life, like such as work and family? Because 2 3 hours a day is a lot of time to take out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So one, as I said, I was not a studious kid. My parents used to wake me up early in the morning. My dad, especially, thanks to him. So I wake up early. I don't take out time from my family. I don't take out time from my
Nice. Nice.
work. As I mentioned, I
Okay.
wake up around 4:30.
Right. Right.
So my training is like by 7 I'm done for my training.
Wow. Oh,
And
okay.
evenings, half an hour you can take it up around 7-ish,
Mm,
7:30, 5 I'm back from office. I'm lucky enough that my office is near. It's and last 4 years, because it was a hybrid and we were working from home, I'm lucky that way. But I guess early mornings is very important. If on a typical day now I'm back to office, so I'll do my trainings by 7 in the morning, give or take. Yeah.
mm. Yeah. That reminds me actually, most successful people they actually wake up early to do their
I,
to do their bits.
I
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
whether I'm successful or not. It's a different definition for everybody,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah. No, no,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, you've done Iron Man. It's a very, very success. I want to applaud you for this. It's not everybody's cup of
Oh,
tea. So yeah, that's
thanks,
why
thanks.
that's why
Thank you so much.
I invited you on this space because you are the maverick, right? You
Oh,
spend like 2 3 hours a day every day for this. So hats off to you, man. Hats off to you.
thanks. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Obviously, with every success, there are always challenges, right? And what has been your biggest challenge you have faced in your Ironman career so far?
Oh, biggest challenge, I guess for any athlete in this space primarily would be, as you mentioned, how do you take out time? That's the biggest challenge. Because time is the biggest challenge, right? How to manage the time professionally. Because typically you'll end up doing something like this, which takes so much time and effort. In your midlife, I'll say I'm 46 now, so 46 to 50, that's the right time where you kind of settle down in a, say, professional life. If not settled, I'll say kind of there. And then kids are grown up. I have a 18 years old, and he's going to be 19, and a
Right,
13-year-old.
right, right.
So you got to take care of kids, and
Yeah.
then parents are getting old. You got to take care of parents.
Mm,
So point in making is that time, I guess taking out time is very critical. And then injury. Injury is something which one should always take care of. You cannot technically, when you're a kid. So I grew up like, and I guess you also in India especially, we grew up getting so many injuries, but it just
Yes.
held, automatically
Yeah.
got healed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now at age 46,
Yeah.
I had an injury after my first Ironman. I had a shoulder injury
Mm-hmm.
because you got to practice so much swim and open
Mm.
water.
Mm.
So I had an injury for almost a year,
Wow.
and I just got it. I'm lucky that just before my May Ironman, it got healed, and it
Mm.
got healed after so many doctor visits, physio visits, chiropractors, all that.
Mm.
So it's not easy. So just take care of your try not to get injured. Try not to push yourself too hard. I know it's you got to push yourself hard. At the same time, just make sure that you should not injure yourself. I guess that's the biggest issue which we face. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That actually reminded me because I haven't done marathon. That's my to do list. Like you said, after 46, you can
Beautiful.
I can start planning now. I'm 46 as well
Beautiful.
this
Oh,
year.
nice,
So
nice. You're the
yeah,
same age
so
then.
yeah, same age. Yeah. So I did 5Ks, 10Ks, and
Nice,
I
nice.
didn't wear
That's
a
a
proper.
start.
Yeah,
That's a
that's a start.
that's a
Exactly.
start.
Yeah.
That's a start. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
start.
so I didn't wear a proper shoes, and obviously my feet got getting hurt, right? So I couldn't
I
even
know, I
walk.
know.
So I
Yeah.
can see. And you done marathons, you done Ironman, so it's totally resonate with you. And with those
Thank you. Yeah.
challenges, you probably had a lot of memorable moments as well, of your races. Can you share to our audience a particular memorable moment for you or one of your races? Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's so many, but one of the most memorable is my first Ironman, Victoria,
Mm-hmm.
last year, 27th of May. So generally, they keep around 1,600 to 15 to 1,600 people in one Ironman because that they have to organize
Wow.
everything. Then there are three different
Yeah.
sports, all those jazz,
Yeah.
and people from all across the world comes to participate in these races because only
Mm.
elites can come and do this kind of a thing.
Mm.
So there are six. I remember there's 1,607 people, if I'm not wrong on my numbers, or 1,670 or seven, something like that. So my partner who did Ironman with me, who prepared, he was 1,669
Wow.
person to enter into water,
Wow.
second last, and I was the
Right.
last guy to enter in the
Oh.
water because
Wow.
till the time I
Yeah.
jumped into water, I was not
Yeah.
convinced that I'll be able to complete it.
Right.
Um,
Right.
I remember we had this, what do you call it? Try swim kind of a thing. One day prior, they have organized it, and that was my so-called first official open water swim. And I was all over the place. I couldn't breathe. I lost my breath, and I
Uh,
was like going left, right, center. And once it ended, I called back home and I was like, "Please don't come to see me and cheer me up. I think I'm not going to do it." Blah blah blah. And in the evening, I was actually very disappointed of me. And then I told my partner, I was like, let's go have a beer. I don't know whether we'll do it or not. And then next morning, because it starts around 6 in the morning and you got
right.
to line up at 5 o'clock. So you
Mm-hmm.
got to wake up around 3:30 because you need to, eat right kind of, food going in because you'll be
Mm-hmm.
there in for 6, 7 hours doing this
Yeah.
activity.
Yeah.
And we were there at 4. I forgot my water bottles, so much anxiety. And then I thought I'll not be able to do it. And I jumped last in the water, but I ended up doing it. I guess I was 1,100 something out of 1,600 people, something
Oh.
like that,
Oh.
or 1,209. But yeah, that
Right.
was very, I'll say, until the last moment, it was a lot of anxiety. So
Mm.
I think that was my memorable moment.
Brilliant. That's a great recovery from last to basically coming out at least in 1200s.
Yeah,
It's a great
yeah,
recovery.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was thinking like you said, you weren't sure that you want to jump into the water. And
Yes.
obviously that probably, and then you jumped in, even at the last,
Yeah.
and then you came like in 1200s. It requires a lot of mental toughness. So
Yes.
how
Yes.
do you maintain mental toughness, especially in the races, and obviously in the training sessions as well?
I think Race day is it's very important, but I think race day is I generally take it as just another day. Because if
Mm.
you'll take the pressure, which I also take the pressure to be honest, it comes up automatically when you see triathletes around the world coming in and you're competing against them, and you're competing against yourself, I'll say. So uh, if you train well, right? Because as I mentioned, you need to have at least, sorry, 1 year training to get into that sport, something like that, right? Or for the matter, marathon you're preparing for. I always say, if you are standing on the starting line, you kind of done, right? Because to stand on that starting line, it takes lots of training, lots of courage, a lot of mental toughness, right? Mental toughness is again one parameter. I'll say it comes with practice. People talk about motivation or mental toughness. I say if you practice make the man perfect. We used to hear it when we were
Hear
kids.
it. Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
if you're practiced enough, you don't need any mental toughness. You know you'll do it, right? Just like any studious kid, I was not. The kids used to study. They know they'll do well in exams. I knew I'll never do good in exams because I never studied. So it's just practice, I'll say. So it'll work for you or anybody for the matter.
Yeah. Okay. I would
Yeah,
love to
right
see
training
some.
and right practice.
Yeah. Yeah. No, brilliant. Yeah. I'd love to see some of your medals if you have them close to you,
Oh
especially
yeah,
for
yeah,
our
yeah. I
audience. They
kept,
can, they can get inspired seeing those medals. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is one of them. This is my first Ironman souvenir I got
Good.
from Victoria, Canada. This is one of
Nice.
them, and
Nice.
then I have Ironman Seattle,
Mm.
Maple Valley here. This is my latest Ironman
Brilliant.
Victoria again this year.
Brilliant.
I love this.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And so this is like this year BMO full marathon.
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
though I don't work with time in the sense I don't go for time that I'll do it in this much
Mm.
time or that much time. But when you run,
Mm.
somehow because everybody's running with time, right? And so I this is my personal best. I did my full Ironman in 3 hours, 44 minutes, 39 seconds this year. So
Wow.
this is again very precious.
That's a great
Then
great timing. Yeah.
this is a UBC triathlon.
Hmm.
This is as I was mentioning about PRC Punjab Running Club.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we as a club do a lot of joint races. This is BAF Relay Jasper, BAF Jasper Relay. This is for 294 kilometers from BAF to Jasper. And
Wow.
you run in relays. You run, so I'll run 21, somebody will run 21, somebody will run
Okay.
20, all those
Right.
jazz.
Right. Right. Right.
And it's one of the world's most beautiful relays.
Relays.
Literally, world's most beautiful. If you
Wow.
come to
Wow.
Canada sometime,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
go to Banff or a Jasper. It's heaven. It's heaven. And
Wow.
we do it quite often. This is a medal for that. We've done a
Brilliant.
couple of times. And yeah, I had other medals. I don't know where are they. This is my half marathon this year. This is again my personal best, 144. Some seconds I don't remember. And then there are a couple of more. I don't know where I've kept them.
No.
I
No.
thought I'll
Thank you.
just get it, whatever I got.
Yeah, no, thanks for sharing this.
Thanks,
I am
thanks.
getting inspired. Even seeing those medals, hey, I want to go
Thank you,
ahead.
thank you.
I was so happy to get my 10K. Now I'm seeing your
Thank you.
marathons, your Ironman. I'm thinking, oh, I need to go out. I don't know if I can do it or no, but I'll definitely take some tips from you. When I
Yeah, yeah,
think
thank
I
you.
want to do it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can,
No,
you can,
no,
you
brilliant,
can.
brilliant. Yeah.
I always say, believe me, it's only difference between me and you, Rohit.
Mm,
I wake up early and
yeah,
go out for run, and you
yeah,
might wake up early and start doing your podcast. Right?
exactly.
That's the only difference. It's just the priority. Moment you'll start running, or you'll say,
Yeah,
"Oh, I want to do this." You can do it
yeah.
easily. But yeah, yeah.
No, no, no. I'm getting very inspired. I'm
Thank you,
getting
thank
really
you,
inspired. So thanks for that, mate. Thanks for that. Yeah.
thank you so
So
much. Yeah,
and I know from my personal experience as well. When you get focused on these things, your passion, and obviously, like you said, you came from India. You always wanted to do something, and then you found your love, basically, right?
yes,
How this
yes.
competing in Ironman events actually influence your life outside of this? Is anything changed?
Oh, yeah. I'll not say it changed drastically,
Mm-hmm.
but I remember when I was coming here 10 years back, I have a friend. I worked for ICICI back home, and one of the very first friends which I had was Ashish Kapoor. I'll name him here. He lives in Toronto now.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
completed my first full marathon in Bombay 2014, and January, and I came in May. And I asked him, I was like, "What do you think I'll be doing here? How's Canada?" You get that anxiety because God's been kind. I had a very luxurious career back home. We are doing good and everything is fine. In fact, when I was coming here, people were like, why the hell are you going? You got a good career, you got growth, all that blah, blah, blah. You should stay here. I was like, no, let me just try. I always, my take is, uh, I need to explore more. So that was one reason. And then obviously for kids and all, you want to see how it goes, plan things. So yeah, that's where I came. So a long story short, I asked Ashish, I was like, what do you think I'll be doing? He's like, I don't know what you'll do and how you'll do, but the marathons which you run will help you get into society very fast and get into people the connection very fast.
Right.
I am a banker by profession. I do credit. I do small business and commercial lending. So that helps me connect with people very fast. I'm very social guy. I like to be around people. If I don't talk to people, if I'm not around people, I get anxiety. So it helps me connect with people very fast. So look at me and you. I we I guess we would have never met if I would have not done Ironman. I guess, right? You're
Yeah.
sitting in the UK. I'm sitting
Yeah.
here in
Yeah.
Vancouver, other part
Yeah.
of the world,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
guess it is just cause of this.
True.
So I'm
Yeah.
happy to meet you. I'm happy to meet more people.
Uh,
And as you mentioned, that you getting inspired, if I can inspire even one person, I always say I am a born Hindu. I don't want to take it on a religion side. Married to a Sikh girl. I don't believe in God much, to be honest. I'll not say I'm an atheist, but I don't believe in God much. But I believe if I can make somebody run, or I can inspire somebody to run or do a triathlon or a hike, I think that's a job of a human job. I would have done a better job that way. So I think that's my way of looking at that. I love you, God. I've done my part. That kind. Yeah.
Yeah, no, no, truly, it actually truly resonates. The whole point of me doing this podcast, I have another podcast on leadership, is just, and
Yeah.
this one is just to inspire everyone else, right? Even
Yeah.
if I
Yeah.
can
Yeah. Yeah.
inspire one person through you, so you inspiring
Yes.
me, and we both can inspire someone watching this episode,
Yes. Yes.
I'd say our job is done basically. Yeah. So, no, thanks for
In
this,
fact, and
mate.
in
Yeah.
fact, thank you because um, if I can speak in Hindi, it says,
Please. Yeah.
"Jungle में मोर नाचा तो किसने देखा?" If if you'll not put me across some
Yeah.
people
True.
who might get inspired one day, God knows, right?
Yeah.
It's you who actually
Yeah.
doing that job. So thank you so much
No,
for
no.
bringing me here. Yeah,
No, thanks to you, mate. Thanks to you. At
yeah,
least even now, this one hasn't gone live yet, but when it goes live, even before that, I am getting inspired. So
thank
I'm
you,
gonna
thank you.
think hard to what to do. So that brings me to ask you actually, what advice would you give someone looking to take their first Ironman race? I don't know if I ever come to Canada to do this, but just in case, you never know. So what advice would you give me?
No, you,
Yeah.
you can do it in UK. So it's all so it happens across 50 countries in the world, if
Okay.
I'm not
Okay.
wrong. There are
Yeah.
150 competitions across the world every year. So there's a company called Ironman who actually arranges this. Long story short, advice. To be honest, there is no advice. Just how you want to plan things. I'll say one step at a time, one day at a time. As
Okay.
you mentioned, you've done 5Ks. I'll say start doing 5, 10, then maybe half marathon, full marathon. Once you have that confidence, you've done a couple of them. Then start doing bike by the side. Try and take lessons on swimming. I guess that's when you start thinking or planning that your body will tell you whether you are ready or not. But only thing which you have to make sure that you're doing right is practice, consistent practice.
Right.
Like
Right.
if you're doing anything for the matter, 5K,
Mm-hmm.
10K doesn't matter, 20K doesn't matter, right? Anything
Mm-hmm.
which you're planning, you got to have plan in place, you got to have practice in place, and that has to be consistent. If you're not able to give time, then nothing's going to happen, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably. Very true. Very true. All blood and sweat needs to go in there. Planning,
Yes.
focus,
Yes. 100%.
motivation. Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, brilliant. So before we end, Sanjay, thanks for this amazing episode so far. And like I said, you are the real maverick. And what are your future goals and aspirations in the world of Ironman, or maybe beyond that? Are you planning something? What are your future goals?
As I said, I have two races in this year.
Hmm.
There is an so there's something called Ultra Ironman, which
Oh,
is
okay.
8 kilometers swim, 360 kilometers of bike, and then 84 kilometers of run.
Wow.
I don't know. As I said, I manifest. I tell people I might one day, so I'm manifesting here also. Maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the line, maybe on my 50th birthday, God knows when. But that's one aim. And then there is something called Comrades. There's a ultra marathon happens in South Africa every year.
Hmm.
It's 90 kilometers. Again, world's
Wow.
best participate in that. So most likely, as of now, it's scheduled for 2026 for me. So maybe
Hmm.
next to next year, or next year. I have to decide yet. How, because it's happened in South Africa, so I have to fly and all those jazz. I have to plan my travel and stuff. So maybe next year or next to next year. But yeah, these are two things which on my journey I'm planning. Ultra, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I don't know.
Wow.
But yeah, and then obviously Comrades, which is maybe 2026 most likely, yeah, or 2025. Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. We wish you luck, man. We wish you luck, Sanjay.
Thanks, thanks.
I know you can do it. You have done so far. You showed
Thank
us
you,
all your medals. So keep
thank you,
adding those
thank you,
medals in your,
thank you, thank you.
repertoire. Yeah. No. So this now comes to an end, Sanjay. So thanks very much for your time to coming on this space and inspiring all of us today. I really appreciate you taking your time from your busy schedule.
No, thank you so much, Rohit. Thank you for anybody and everybody, all the people like you who are actually bringing out, such kind of podcast and interviews wherein, as you mentioned, even one person getting inspired. I guess we
True.
would be doing good job for
Yeah.
humanity, to be honest.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Thanks for taking out time. Thanks for bringing me here. So nice of you.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine, but really
Yeah,
appreciate your
mine is
time.
mine, sir.
Massive gratitude.
Mine
Yeah.
is mine, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, listeners, keep getting inspired. Watch this episode, share it, like it, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you soon with another Maverick very soon. Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you.
Stay safe. Bye for
Thanks.
now.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks.